What's up, dudes and dudesses? BSP here for another special. Now, as you just saw, and could probably assume from the name on the poll video, I recently downloaded Gacha Studio on my laptop. Now, how is this possible with a mobile app? Well, I used an emulator, of course. Now, originally I'd only downloaded Gacha Studio to make the name on the poll skit, but after making it I started to become a little obsessed with the program, and I made myself and a few others in Gacha Studio as well, like Ghosty Pants and Linksmokes420. And when I started making my Gacha Studio character, it turns out Luname, the makers of Gacha Studio, had darn near perfectly matched the outfit I had on in my super singularitization video, as well as my 8-bit sprite. Wasn't expecting it to be so accurate. After seeing that they even had the t-shirt I wear often in some of my videos, it inspired me to start trying out some different looks for the characters, just in case I use them in other videos. That way they're not all wearing the same thing in every single video that features them. And speaking of which, I recently came up with another video idea after I found out I'd been pronouncing a lot of Zodiac signs wrong. But more on that later. After making these characters, I put a few of them in some other scenarios too, including super singularization, Ghosty attacking the Ghosty BSP shippers a la SpongeBob, Madison rocking out to Wings of a Butterfly, and that awesome intro you saw earlier, which is one of the few animated ones so far. But then my dark side decided to have a little fun with my Gacha Studio character, including turning the singing pose into a crucifixion, and turning the excitement pose into being nailed to a dartboard with an arrow through my chest. I also came across a pole dancing sprite that reminded me of this, so I tried to recreate it. I know it's not perfect, but Gacha Studio has its limitations. Like, I couldn't find anything with green pants and a black t-shirt, so I had to settle for that tank top. And the closest hat to the cap in the drawing covered the eyes, so I had to use that visor instead. Ugh. Oh well. At least the pose limitations can't really affect me, because I'm able to make custom poses using MS Paint and a combo of different poses. And speaking of the poses, there was something that made me chuckle a bit when scrolling through them. And that's the order that Luname decided to place these three poses in. Proposal, rejected, give up. This got me laughing pretty good, especially with that ring looking so cheap. Like seriously, that box looks like it's made out of freaking cardboard, and this even inspired a short little poem I wrote, which is probably the most savage marriage proposal rejection one can give. And it also kinda gives married life the middle finger in the process. Now, quick disclaimer, this is in no way meant to offend any married couples out there or those who want to get married one day. It's just a dumb poem I wrote because I thought it'd be kinda funny. I also might as well warn you it does have a little profanity in it, and I won't censor it this time because it would ruin the rhyme. So skip to this timestamp if you're offended by uncensored swears. I bet that diamond's just glass, and I bet that ring is just brass. Marriage sucks donkey ass, so I'm gonna have to give it a pass. Yeah, the only rings I'm interested in are collector rings. Although I guess marriage can be a dream come true in fantasy worlds, though I guess it can also suck donkey ass too. Maybe I can do something with Thunderbolt rejecting 1003 in this manner someday. Now I notice some gacha haters out there, and to that I say, dab on haters. Now on to the next topic of discussion. The pre-siren test chime schedule has changed, as I recently got another melodix card, the MCT13 edelweiss card. So I now present to you probably the most innocent sounding chime in my collection thus far. I mean seriously, how adorable is that? And I now have more than half the set of melodix cards. I got so many cards I'm practically playing Go Fish with them at this point. You got any TO9s? Go Fish. This chime will replace the Nanatsuko chime I'd originally intended for July. Now this one was a bit interesting, as I was kind of debating back and forth whether to use the chime station Nanatsuko, or the medley Nanatsuko. But I don't have to worry about that anymore, as this melodix card just made it simpler by taking Nanatsuko's place this July. I also moved the Ringslin Medley green sleeves down to October because it's now the only Ringslin chime left this year. Also, fun fact about the ML304B edelweiss chime. It's the very first chime Basai Sen played in her debut TSM episode.
That's weird. Usually I do the chimes.
Though I didn't have the melodix back then, so that part of the episode came from a video of a real Basai Sen playing the chime. Okay, time for the Q&A. SIE Productions, the SIE C651 fan commented, "Do you know about light bulbs?" Yeah, they're a common household appliance. Everyone knows about them. Yeah, don't try that at home. I had a piece of electric tape in the socket to prevent a short circuit, and I swept up all the shards of glass as not to be a glass hole. And yes, that bulb was indeed burned out for real. I'd never smash a working bulb. Two, when's your birthday? I normally keep that personal. I mean, some are okay with sharing that info, but for now, I'm keeping that secret from YouTube. By the way, Wingo Chan's golden birthday was recently. She turned 17 on the 17th, so be sure to wish her a happy late birthday if you haven't already. And I also decided to move her TSM script, The Love Triangle Part 2, up the queue before Great Triblaster's regretting idea. Yeah, sorry the D, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. Oh, calm down, yours will be made eventually. By the way, I put The Love Triangle Part 2 after the melodix card recording because I'm going to post the recording on the same day as this Q&A. Will you get a ML1000 soon? I don't know, I kind of still want to save that money for more ML304B cards for now, even though I got over half the set now. I want to collect as much of the full set as I can, though I do have plans to maybe insert a scene in the Random Siren Shorts 19 with an ML1000 now. Wingo Chan commented, "Can you make Fettle Code too?" Technically, one can make Fettle Code by buying the Model 20 3D model, 3D printing it, and then painting it like Fettle Code. And speaking of which, I might as well answer some Fettle Code's questions here too. No, I do not plan on making a Fettle Code movie or music video yet. Most Irrational commented, "Question for 40K. What are your thoughts on Siren Head?" Not many thoughts, except for one thing. His sound is from this video, Chicago's Tornado Siren. And I feel I should address this. Some may already know, but this is for those who don't. The siren's not broken. It's doing a signal known as alternate wail, or high-low wail, which is a mix of the high-low and attack tone. Most areas of the US use alert, or steady tone, or attack, or wail tone. For a tornado warning, depending on where you are in the US. Alternate wail isn't commonly used for tornadoes, unless you're in Chicago, I guess. Or Livonia, Michigan, when they still had their eows 612, which is the only siren in the system that did high-low wail for a tornado, while all the others in the county did attack. I'm surprised no one thought that EOWS was broken. The most notable use for outdoor siren signals involving the high-low tone is for fire calls from volunteer fire departments. Either that or they use attack if the siren isn't high-low capable, or if the tornado sirens in the area don't already use attack. Monica Babags commented, "BSP, could you make a mini jailbar Federal Enterprises Thunderbolt 1000? I guess I could just 3D print a mini jailbar grill and slap it on the mini Thunderbolt. Though next month I might attempt the mini P50 bolt attack signal with the air mattress blower again because the rotator failed that happened last time. And then the month after that I could possibly do a mini jailbar 1000. Jason LOVOC Coco the Cat YT Alt commented, 1. Have you ever owned a cat? Once, though it was actually the family cat. She's dead now. 2. How many times has 1003 kissed his Thunderbolt? Countless. The Thunderbolt sometimes stops her before it's too late. 3. Can you tell us the funniest TSM script you've seen so far? That would be the Champion Farm, scripted by Sarah's Cartoon Channel, though I did put several of my own bits in as well, as I often do at TSM. This episode has got many different types of humor in one episode. Light humor, dark humor,
Peekaboo. I see you. Peekaboo, you're going to the ICU.
No wait.
gross out humor,
Okay, champion. I got the eggs.
3T22. Those aren't eggs. These are turds.
and random humor, all wrapped up nicely in one big old comedy burrito. 4. Do you like my scripts if you read them? I can try harder if you really want me to. I don't think I've seen many of them. I've also got several scripts I gotta animate, so I may or may not do yours someday. Dippow commented, Question for 40k. What's the biggest explosion from a TSM/Random Siren Shorts video ever? That would be the one from the TSM episode, The Bad Siren Outrage. That one's probably my favorite of the explosions from TSM as well. Wingo Chan commented, here are some of the TSM characters' birthdays and zodiac signs. A lot of them have the same birthday, so let me know if you want me to give them different ones. I did not list all of them, by the way. Thanks for the list. And just for some and giggles, let's look up Thunderbolt 1003's love compatibility in Zodiacery.
Shut up 1003. Oh shit. I'm a bit nervous about this
Why'd you have to list that one first? Oh well. Yeah, they're not really that compatible
That's
anyway.
a relief. We ain't very compatible in that regard.
Ah, there we go. A little more of an important one there. Trust. 70%. Pretty good. Though, of course, Thunderbolt can't really trust 1003 anyway.
True.
Communication and intellect. It's a pretty important one there. 99%.
Fine. We are meant for each other.
Hope I'm down 1003. It's only one category. I bet the rest are super low.
Emotional compatibility. What about this one?
Fuck.
25%.
That one is super low right
That I
there.
can understand, because Thunderbolt freaking hate 1003, but 1003 freaking loves Thunderbolt. Values. Let's see this one. 80%.
Yes. Another high one.
You're the high one, if you think I'll ever love you.
Let's see. Shared activities.
Oh, well, I guess we do share similar activities. We both sound off during severe weather, though you have the ability to sound a fire call tone.
True.
So let's see the overall compatibility, 65%.
Well, the overall compatibility isn't too low, though it isn't too high either. So I might as well go now.
Okay. Get the right back here.
And now, let's talk about how I once pronounced several of these wrong. You all heard me say Sagittarius wrong in the 39k Q&A. P50's birthday be December 17th, so his zodiac sign can be Sagittarius. I just think P50 would be 100% a Sagittarius. But I only knew I was mispronouncing him after I brought up zodiac signs with my parents. I was talking to him about Wingo Chan's idea to give the TSM characters zodiac signs, and immediately after saying Sagittarius to them, they corrected me. And then I told them she was a Gemini, and they corrected me again, and so on. And we all had a good laugh about it. It inspired me to make another skit similar to the name on the poll, where I'm talking to Gacha Studio Madison about the TSM zodiac signs. I'm still going to use my real self though, just like the name on the poll. Though I'm going to animate TSM the Love Triangle Part 2 first before I animate the Zodiac video. Epic Floppa commented, questions for 40k. Can you make a mini P10 STL file? If only 2.3mm dual axle can-size 380 motors weren't so hard to find. Even on eBay they're a bit hard to come by. That's pretty much why I haven't put the mini P10 STL files on the store yet. The single axle version of these motors can still be somewhat easily sourced though, so you might be able to sell for a mini SD10. 2. Are you adding any new characters to Tornado Siren Madness? I don't have any immediate plans for new characters yet. 3. What's your favorite TSM character? Probably Thunderbolt. I mean, he has his own song.
I'm Thunderbolt, the best tornado siren. Look over there, whelen broke his wires. It's no lie, I am freaking awesome. Nothing better than a Thunderbolt siren.
4. Can you look at the TSM drawings on my YouTube channel? Alright, let's check them out.
So I have some Tornado Siren Madness characters drawn.
That's actually pretty good.
612.
Looks like it traced them on a screen.
P50,
So if you look clously, it kind of looks like you didn't trace them on a screen.
Thunderbolt, you can see it's
Like a
little
scratch.
stuff there, but that's okay. Alerter, I don't know why the eyebrows are like that.
Probably because you drew them like that.
Soon. Champion, SD10, 508, Eclipse, P15 or P10, 500, 1003, iForce, Cyclone, RSH10,
Or Thunderbeam.
Banshee, 550, T128.
It's like it drew Chrysler and Mobile Directo at some point, then erased them.
And then classic
Or you drew them on the other side of the
GTI,
paper and I'm seeing through it, I don't know.
and then just TSM.
eows 812 Siren Productions commented, questions for 40k. Can you publish the STL files for Mini 2001 and Mini P10? I already talked about the Mini P10, and the Mini 2001 isn't going to have its files in the store due to the fear of some of the parts not working properly after printing because of how small they are, i.e. the rotator gears. Same goes for the Mini Thunderbolt. I feel some 3D printers would print them wrong because of how I had to edit the 3D models of the rotator gears in both the Mini Thunderbolt and the Mini 2001 in order for them to work properly after printing on my home 3D printer versus when I had them printed at DoSpace. I didn't have this fear for the Mini SD10 and Mini Beside because they're simpler mini sirens with simpler designs and fewer moving parts, so there's less of a chance of a 3D printing failure. Also what you should make, a Mini T135 working rotator chopper, a Mini T121 working chopper. I got so many mini sirens already and a few 3D prints ahead of any potential new ones at the moment. First TSM models you should make, P10, T128, eows 812, 10V, STH10. I've already made STH10 and he's on the merch store as a 3D model file. P10 does exist as a 3D model right now, but he is yet to be printed and published. 2. Also, do you have any pets? Cats, dogs, rabbits, fish, snakes, etc.? No. We used to have a dog and a cat, but they're both dead now. You can actually see the dog when he was still alive in my YouTube poop from 2016. But the cat died before I even started my channel. 3. Another question. Have you heard of West Shore Services? It's a siren junkyard in Allendale, Michigan. You can buy used sirens there. It's quite cool. Yes, I've heard of it and even featured it in TSM a few times, though I kinda made fun of it at the time. 4. Also, can you film siren tests again? I would love that. Due to the tests being on a weekday now, it's kinda unlikely. Though I do have plans to one day put a third 3D printed straight horn on the Mini Beside in between the two existing horns. Then I could possibly do a video of the Mini Beside's chime ambience while the camera is set up to record the 2001. 5. Do you have a driver's license? I recommend buying a used Volkswagen Jetta from 2005. They are very cheap, reliable, and nice cars. I'm actually a bit too nervous to learn how to drive in the real world. In driving games you have many lives, but in the real world you only have one. So if you crash just once, it's game over immediately. And the Konami code doesn't work to give you unlimited lives in real life. 6. What is your favorite siren? I give that title to the Thunderbolt, especially since I experienced the one in Westmont in person twice. That thing is a freaking bone rattler. What is your favorite car? I'm not really that much of a car enthusiast. NeilPrasad1905 commented, questions for 40k. Since you made a stand for the Mini Beside, what position would be best suited for the Toa horn since it's made out of metal, unless the stand can't hold that much weight? Most likely the Toa horn would fit best on top of the pole due to the Toa horn's fixed mount, though the top of the pole is usually already occupied by a siren. 2. Since you mentioned one time that you lost a lot of the Ringsland chime station chimes, are the lost chimes going to sound the same as how it was before the hard drive crashed in 2022? They don't sound like anything now. The data was literally erased from the drive when it failed. 3. What's the computer you showed in your 31,000 subs Q&A intro? Can you do a full in-depth of it? That's a Brother WP2600Q word processor / electric typewriter with a daisy wheel printer. It can store documents using a floppy disk drive, though mine's broken. Probably a Paris belt. It also has a feature that'll correct your spelling called Grammar Check 1. Let's see this in action. I'll set the grammar checker to one word mode and type the word superfluous correctly and hit space. As you can see, nothing happened. But if I erase that and type it again misspelled, it'll beep at you as if to say, you f***ed up, here are your options. It then lets you choose between ignoring the alarm, using another word, retyping the word, or adding your nonsense creation to its built-in dictionary. For the sake of the video, let's see some suggestions. It usually takes a few moments to load up the dictionary. Ah, that's where I went wrong. I'm such a bonehead. If you type in a sentence or paragraph but didn't have the grammar checker on, you can turn it on in all mode and it will scan your work for sus words. If it finds any, it will highlight it and present you with the options for correction. Might as well get used to modern slang. And that's how Grammar Check 1 works in this unit. What do you know? Autocorrect was a thing in 1985 too. Now let's see the daisy wheel printer in action. I'll start print mode here and get it going. And here's the typewriter mode in action, though it isn't really all too interesting. It's just an electric typewriter in this mode. This machine also has a framing program that sort of functions as this machine's version of MS Paint. And the daisy wheel printer can print these drawings too, though it has to make the vertical lines using columns and periods. Now that I've printed my period piece, it's time for a little story. The ink cartridge cassette was empty for a while, and the unit sat unused for years. That is, until I was looking around Goodwill and came across a pack of the cartridges it uses, so I picked them up and finally put that machine back to some good use again. That use being the beginning of the 39K Q&A. Though I guess it was also featured at the beginning of the 31K Q&A as well. I used the framing program to draw the title card. 4. Like you used warm bells for the Ringsland Chime Station chimes, what tone did you use in Mixcraft for the Star Spangled Banner? That was a synth organ in Mixcraft. 5. What were those laser-like things you set up in your dramatic response to my 9th question in your 39K subs Q&A? Those were some old Spy Gear toys that were supposed to mimic a laser alarm system. Gacha Studios commented, questions for 40K, where'd you get that pole on your minibus I was sent? I got it from Lowe's. Mr. Stately Devil commented, the Decatone is just heaven for the ears. Well, it is majestic howls of heavenly harmony after all. Smart Rip Guy 118 Productions commented, I'm just wondering on your next Q&A video, how long did the 3D printer to complete your model of sirens? That mostly depends on how big it is or how much filament is used, though it generally takes at least a few days to print a TSM figurine, though big prints like my functional mini sirens can sometimes take weeks to fully complete. Ghosty Pants commented, hey broso, I'm not sure if I already posted my next script, and even if it's not the sequel to the ASC episode yet, it would just as well contain a bunch text with probably the reason why YT messed with me in the comments. I highly apologize for spamming the hell out of you, should that be the case. Either way, I put them in a drive file. Here's also my voice files for the speech. Maybe I'll do this one after I've animated all the parts of the love triangle. That way I'm not doing 2 multi-parters at once. Fan of Fans 47 Variety Channel commented, hey, thanks for the shout out. I ended up using the 24-volt DC battery backup terminal. Wait, the ML1000 has battery backup? That's quite a leap forward from TOA. I thought the ML1000's more detailed chimes and 8 chimes per card rather than 1 was already a huge advancement. But to discover it also has the ability to run from a battery? Holy crap. Keep in mind, the ML1000 is the model directly after the ML304B, which has none of these capabilities. That's not a shot at it, though. I still adore the ML304B's chimes, and will continue to collect for it as much as I can. Also, in case you're curious, the card it came with happens to be the MC1010. I'll make a video on it soon. Alberto Tognoni commented, seems you've resolved your copyright problems. Sort of. They kind of resolve themselves, and then unresolve themselves. Allow me to explain. 2 videos on my channel, being the Random Siren Shorts 12 and Crazy Sirens 2, have the song No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper in them. That song's usage policy seems to go in and out of having the video blocked everywhere. Sometimes the videos will be visible, while other times they'll be blocked. And during the blocked periods, they're watchable through Google Drive links I put in a pinned comment years ago in my 9,000 subscriber special. Blocky.yt commented, how do you make the still audio in Audacity like Dr. Octagon, like as if the computer stopped working? That's a fairly simple effect. I just cut the audio at the point I want it to crash at, and then I copy a tiny segment at the very end and just paste it a bunch of times. Ivan Coley commented, 611 eows 1212 playing on his phone. That was actually a plug-and-play portable, a device I made myself that makes plug-in-and-play TV games playable on the go. And here's the game eows 1212 was playing. And here's what the original plug-in-and-play TV game unit for this game looks like. Clax on Asia Pacific commented, how'd you put the siren on top of the Mini beside Musen? Each of my 3D printed Mini sirens has a special mount that attaches it to the top of the pole. Well, except for the Mini 2001. The DRJ 2006 commented, hey BSP, you're getting pretty close to 400 videos. Do you have another series of homemade childhood videos to show us? I do have a little series called Unhappy Mappy, using the characters from the Namco game Mappy. It's another stop-motion series made with the same computer used to make the Rubik's Cube show. Though one episode seems to have been corrupted, is when all the frames load up, the program crashes. Hope you like my custom crash sound. Windows XP has the ability to customize error message sounds. That episode being the one where they go to Scary Acres, which I called Scary Anchors in that episode because that's what I thought it was actually called for a while. Here's a shot of an episode loading properly. Charlie Gaming commented, why is the video quality makes broken solar panel look like he's stuck in 2007? I believe my camera was actually from 2007. Well, at least that's the year it defaults to when I put the battery back in after charging. STH10 commented, the one problem with using a VCR in 2023 is finding the parts to keep it operational. The VCR in that video was actually repaired by me somewhat recently with a new video head assembly, that of which I ordered new old stock from eBay. And then I wired the circuit board onto it like this due to the traces being broken. And it actually works. And to prove it, I'll test it with some good old sponge boob.
The sponge boob? Who's sponge boob?
Now to be kind, I fast forwarded, past all the previews and into an episode, so as soon as it starts playing, an episode is seen. Let's make it look like the fall kills Patrick. I'm gonna stop the tape as soon as he faceplants. And that's my old VCR that I inherited from my dead grandma. Still working to this day thanks to some new old stock video heads and a little soldering. The DRJ 2006 commented, 144, is that a prototype Yamaha figurine behind you? Ugh, that was a failed attempt at a Yamaha figurine. The supports gave out during printing and the filament got all stringy as a result. Back then I displayed this dud in the entertainment center, but now the Model 5 figurine that I recently made has taken its place. And no, Model 5, I do not have any French fries. Ghosty Pants commented, now I apologize for showing the same link again, but in case you're going to include it in the next coming Q&A, I'm making sure it won't get flushed over, LMAO. This is what I meant with the solenoids working as a pair of ears, and I couldn't resist of doing that. Windows Fan 98 Gaming commented, "How'd your mini Thunderbolt make that sound? Did you change the chopper?" Yes, I used a 6.4 port chopper on chopper level 2 rather than the traditional 6.5 port chopper. The DRJ 2006 commented, 917, whoa, what caused the gearbox to be so fuzzy like that? The autofocus on my camera was giving me some so I used the manual focus, which I guess wasn't perfect this time either. Dennis O'Brien commented, I love these songs so much. BSP, you're a musical legend. I also play piano too. Oh, you think I made that chime? No, the melodix cards are from a company called Toa. The chimes I made are the Rinksland chimes. Any songs I make are normally made in Mixcraft, though I do have a Yamaha PSR 310 keyboard I play every once in a while, though I can only do simple tunes. Though with the help of a pre-recorded backing track, I can sound a little bit better. And since this is a Yamaha keyboard, I thought it'd only be fitting to play a music siren song. RC Dude 2007 commented, is your 3D printed sirens waterproof? Absolutely not, they would be ruined if left out in the rain too long. Blue Thunderbolt 1003 siren commented, poor Thunderbolt. I fixed it with a new rotator gear after the video went out. Anyways, that's all the questions and answers I have for this Q&A. This is Broken Solar Panel signing off.